Hello friends, welcome to this new tutorial. Today I have here an iPhone 7 Plus, and the problem on it, when I plug it in charge, it gets discharged like quick. I charge it up to 100%, then after like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it dropped down from 100% to maybe 50, sometimes to 10%. When I turn it off and turn it back on, it shows like it's 70%, and this is a sign that the battery needs to be replaced. So that's what we're gonna do in this video. To do this job, we will need some tools. We will need tri-point screwdriver. We will need a Phillips screwdriver. We will need a pentalobe screwdriver, then an iCSemi, and tweezers. Okay, and after that we will need a new battery. This is the new battery. And we will need some adhesive. I have the adhesive here. Alright, so let's put this part or these tools aside and let's start. So the first thing we're gonna start with, we will open these two screws here in the bottom. So we have two screws here. We're gonna use the pentalobe screwdriver. Try to organize your screws. Alright, so we get these two screws out. Then we will turn off the phone. And we will use this iCSemi to open the screen. So we're just gonna insert the iCSemi here between the frame and the glass, like this, and we will pray up. Alright. Alright, so once I open this side here, if the phone is never opened before, what you need to do, just open this side and hold it like this, then slide this one gently, just the tip of it around this edge like this, until you release the adhesive which is holding it here. Then once it's released like this, you're gonna hold it with your finger. Then you're gonna go to, I'm holding my finger here, so I'm gonna go to this part here and they will do the same thing. Lift up. Then if the adhesive is still here, you can just like cut it with this iCSemi, but make sure don't go deep inside, you may damage something inside. Okay, and lift up like this. And for the iPhone 7, the screen usually it opens like this, so we're gonna just slide it down a little bit to make a small gap here, as you see. So we have a small gap there, right? It's right here. Then we will lift up the screen gently. Make sure you hold it, don't just pull like this, you may cut the cables for the home button and the front facing camera. And open it gently like this. Then we will have the battery here and the connection for the cable connected on the motherboard. So one of the signs when you see that your battery is swollen like this, it's like it's pregnant, that means it needs to be replaced. Alright, so the next step, we remove this bracket to disconnect the cables. So to do that, we will use the pentalobe, the tri-point screwdriver. So we have this screw here and another one here. Okay, as you see, I organize the screws like this because we have three in one line, 1, 2, 3, and the other one is by itself here. So that's why you put it here. These three screws are the same, but this one is different. It's longer a little bit. Alright, so once I remove these screws, I will just pop up this bracket, put it aside. Then the first thing we're gonna do, disconnect the battery. This is the battery connection. Alright, so the first thing we disconnect is the battery. Then we're gonna disconnect the cables, the screen cables. 1, 2, we are just using our nail. And we will move the screen like this, and we will have another bracket here. 3 screws. One of them, it looks like it's a little bit longer than the others, so this one is the same like this, but this one it's a little bit different, slightly different. It's not gonna make any difference in case you try to put it in the wrong spot. So now after I remove that bracket, I will just use my nail to disconnect this cable from here. It's disconnected. So now what I'm gonna do, I will remove this vibrator. They call it the taptic engine. So this vibrator has 3 screws, 1, 2, 3. Why I'm removing this taptic engine? Because I will have to pull off the adhesive which is gluing the battery down here. I can do it without removing this one, but just to show you how to do it correctly, so we need to remove this one. So now I'm using the Phillips screwdriver to remove these 3 screws. Make sure you organize your screws very well. Alright, so now I will just flip this to the back. It still have a cable underneath this place here, but I'm not gonna remove it. Just open it like this. Alright, so once you open the taptic feedback, we're gonna use these tweezers and we will pull this adhesive here. Just make sure don't poke the battery. Remove only the adhesive as I do. And the adhesive is sticky, so when you remove it, it will like stick on this. Then you will pull it like this. Don't pull it like this, but you need to pull it this way, and keep like just pulling it gently until you get it all off. Alright, so I remove the first strip, then I will have 2 more here. Alright, so I remove the second one and then the third one. If you see that this adhesive got like hooked from here or cut from here, try to pull it gently before it cuts. Then you grab it from the part which is not cut, then pull it gently. Alright, as you see, I remove the last one and the battery comes off easy. So what I'm gonna do now, I will put this taptic feedback, engine back here. So those are the 3 screws. Phillips screwdriver. Alright, so once you remove this one, I just forgot to mention there is like very tiny cable here. Make sure don't keep like pulling this one, you may cut this cable here. Alright, so once I remove the old battery, now I'm gonna put the new battery. So before I place the new battery here, I will put the adhesive that it will hold it from not keep moving. I will just put like 2 little pieces here because we don't need too much. I'm gonna put 1 piece here and another piece on the top. Then I will remove the plastic which is covering the adhesive. Now it's sticky, as you see. Alright, so the second thing we're gonna do, we will make sure sometimes when we get the cables, the batteries, the cable is not folded well as it's supposed to be. So we need to make sure this part is straight here with the battery. Then we're gonna fold it from here then we will have another fold like this, as you see. So what I'm gonna do now, I will plug the battery here. I suppose not to plug it, but just to show you that, because if you glue the battery down and if it's not aligned with the connection here, you may need to pull the cable a little bit up or down, and this may damage the cable here. So make sure you match this with its connection here, then let the battery go down, and don't finish this repair. You need to disconnect the battery first, then go ahead and finish the repair. So what I'm gonna do now, I will just take the new the old screen, and I will put it back. I will start with the front facing camera cable, with this one. I will just pull it gently, and I try to fold it like this, so I will have this cable out, so I can connect it easily here, because it will give you a hard time to connect it perfectly. Alright, so the cable is connected here. Now I will transfer this bracket, and we will use the tri-point screwdriver. Every screw must go back to its original spot. Alright, so I put this bracket here. Now I can open the screen like this, then connect these two cables. The first one is for the home button. Make sure don't pull the screen back too much, because you may cut the cable here. And this cable is like paper. If you pull it too much, you may cut it easy. Alright, so now I connect the home button, then I will connect the LCD cable. Make sure the connections are matching with its connection on the motherboard, then put some pressure on them. If you feel like they are not clipping or not snapping down, try to adjust them and align them perfectly before you put too much pressure on them. This is supposed to connect easily. So after I connect these two cables, what I'm going to do now, I will connect the battery cable, which is the last thing. Because always the battery cable must be the last thing that you connect. Then the bracket, and hold it, and at the same time I'm holding the screen, and I'm trying to keep it close to the frame, because if it goes back it may damage the cable, as I said. So we start with this long cable, long screw here, and then another screw here. And this is the last screw in this bracket. Alright, make sure everything is connected well. Then you put the screen back, and you start putting the screen back by pushing this one inside first. So I'm putting this top here first, and I will hold the screen to not go down. Hold it, I'm pushing it like this with my thumb up. Then I will snap the bottom part, the middle here and the middle here, then the bottom. Alright, if you feel like the screen is not sitting well there, make sure to check, maybe there is a screw underneath, it's holding it from snapping, from sticking very well in its frame, and maybe some pieces of glass, or I don't know. Make sure there is nothing underneath the screen when you put it down like this. So then I will put the two screws that goes here in the bottom. These are the last two screws. After that I will turn the phone on to test it. When you push here to turn the phone on, make sure you hold the screen here, you hold the button for 3 seconds to 5 seconds. And it looks like everything is done now. I hope that this video helped you to replace your battery This method is the same on the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus, the same like iPhone 8 and 8 Plus. If you find it helpful, please hit the thumbs up. It will help me a lot. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment area. And subscribe if you're not subscribed. See you in the next video and have a wonderful time. Peace.